why do you look so down?
I want to prepare for the NMMS, but I have no idea where to start.
Oh,
Don't worry, I'm here to help. Gory Smart Channel has everything you need for NMMS prep. Just check it out. Subscribe, like, and share.
Really? That's awesome. I'll subscribe to Gowrie Smart Channel right away. Thank you so much.
Good evening, all of you. Today we will discuss about the lesson sound. What is a sound? We are familiar with different kinds of sounds in our day-to-day life. We will observe the sound created by a bird, horn of a vehicle, and talking with other persons, some musical instrument, TV, tape recorder. We will observe the different kinds of sounds. Then what is a sound? What is the definition of sound? Sound is a form of energy which gives us audible sensation. Sound is a form of energy which gives us audible sensation. Okay. Now, in all medium, for suppose in the universe, if any sound is created, is it reaches our earth? It do not reaches it our earth. Why? Because sound waves are mechanical waves. It needs a medium for their propagation. Sound waves are mechanical waves. So, it needs a medium for their propagation. So, what are the medium? In which medium sound travels? We know we are having matter exists in three states. So, those are solid, liquid and gases. These solids, liquids and gases acts like a medium for the propagation of the sound. Solids, liquids, gases. Okay. In which medium sound moves faster and in which medium sound propagates slowly? Sound propagates slowly in air. That is 330 meter per second. That is 330 meter per second in air. Speed of sound in air is 330 meter per second. In liquid, for suppose it is water, it nearly 1500 meter per second. Approximately the speed of the sound in water is 1500 meter per second. For suppose in solids, if you take iron, 5950 meter per second, nearly more than 5000. The speed of the sound in iron is 5950 meter per second. So, based on this result, what we can conclude? Sound propagates very fastly in solids and slowly in air. What about the vacuum? What is the speed of the sound in vacuum? 0. Why? Because in vacuum there is no material. There is no mechanical waves. Sound need mechanical waves for their propagation. So, in vacuum, the speed of the sound is 0. Okay. The next one is noise. What is a musical sound and what is a noise? The sound which is pleasant to hear is called musical sound and the sound which is unpleasant to hear is called noise. For suppose in a classroom students making different noise, then teacher will say stop noise, they will say. Okay, they don't say stop sound, they will say stop noise, means which is unpleasant to hear. So the unpleasant sound is called noise, the pleasant sound which is here is called musical sounds. Here we are having three kinds of musical sounds, that is string instruments, drum instruments and wind instruments, which produces sound based on the part which produces sound. Those are classified into three kinds. That is, first one is string instruments, means the vibrating body produces sound. We already know that if there is a sound means there is a vibrating body. For suppose when you are talking, just we touch our vocal cord, you can observe the vibration of your vocal cord. Okay, vibrating body produces sound. In string instrument, the sound producing part is string. What are the examples of string instrument? Veena, sitar, guitar, etc. Bulbul. Veena, sitar, guitar, bulbul, etc. Those all are the string instruments. The vibrating body in that musical instrument is string. In the same manner, drum instrument. The hollow membrane produces sound, that is called drum instruments. In drum instruments, hollow membrane produces sound. For example, mridang, tabla, dolak, etc. Those are the drum instrument. In those drum instrument, hollow membrane or stretched membrane is the sound producing part in the musical instrument. In the same manner, wind instrument means air columns, the length of the air columns. If we change the length of the air columns, so that produces the sound. For example, flute, clarinet, nadaswara are the examples of wind instrument. Flute, clarinet, nadaswara, all these are the, in that we will adjust the air columns. The length of the air column adjusted by small holes. So that produces sound. Here the vibrating portion is the air inside the instrument. Air inside the instrument vibrates and produces sound. Those are wind instrument. Next, what is the audible range of the sound? All sounds we cannot hear. Human beings have such a range to hear the sounds, that is called audible range. Audible range is below 20 Hz sound we cannot hear, that is called infrasonics. Below 20 Hz we cannot hear, that is called infrasonics. 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz or 20,000 Hz. 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz or 20 kilohertz is called audible range. That is called audible range. The frequency of the sound in between 20 Hz and 20 kilohertz is called audible range. Those sounds only we can listen. More than 20 Hz and less than 20 kilohertz. If the frequency of the sound is more than 20 kilohertz or 20,000 Hz, those are called ultrasonics. Those are called ultrasonics. That is useful. Those ultrasonics we cannot hear that sounds. That is useful in scanning in medical department. And ultrasonics also used in machineries to know the damage in the machines. Either holes or cracks are there. To know that, we will use these ultrasonic sounds. The next one is sound pollution. The intensity of the sound is measured in decibels. The intensity of the sound is measured in decibels. If the sound is more than 80 decibels, that is called sound pollution. If the intensity of the sound is more than 80 decibels, then we can say that that is sound pollution. Some sounds, the intensity of sound, more intensity of sound we cannot hear, and also we feel hypertension and headache if we listen more sounds. So that is called sound pollution. The unbearable sound is called sound pollution. How much intensity of sound is unbearable? That is more than 80 decibels. If the sound intensity more than 80 decibels, we cannot bear that sound. That causes the sound pollution. If we observe the intensity of the sound, the normal breathing, when we are breathing, our heart makes some vibrations and produces a sound. That sound intensity is 10 decibels. The soft whisper, if we are observing air moving from one place to another place, the wind, if we are observing the wind speed, it makes a small noise. That is 30 decibels. The normal conversation, if we are talking with our friends, family, friends or colleagues, Generally we will talk, no need of more intensity of sound there. So that normal conversation is 60 decibels. With our family members and with our friends we are talking, the intensity of that sound is 60 decibels. Busy traffic. When you are in a traffic, we will observe different kinds of sounds of different vehicles, horns, shouting by some persons. This type of sounds we will listen, that is 70 decibels. Average factory is 80 decibels. Factory horns, we will observe some factory horns. They will produce in sugar factory or other factories. So for coming of the labor who works in that factory, they will use a horn. That horn produces sound is 80 decibels. If the more than 80 decibels, it causes sound pollution. What is the effect of this sound pollution? It damages our health. Hypertension. We will get hypertension, headache, sometimes the sudden sound increase means it may cause for heart attack also. See, if we listen suddenly the loud sound, immediately we will put our hand on our heart. If the heart is weak or any old people, immediately it affects their heart. So, hypertension, headache are the main problems we will affect by the sound pollution. Then how to reduce this sound pollution? How can we reduce this sound pollution? By planting trees. It absorbs the more sounds. Next, reduce the volume of TV, tape recorder or mobile what we are using. Reduce the sound. It minimize the sound. If you are using earphones, it always cautious to you. Though it damages your ear, so don't put more volume. That means that more than 60 decibels means it cautious us. Why? Because we should not use more sound. It damages your ear. Okay. So we have to reduce the volume. Unnecessarily, we should not use our horn while you are riding on a bike. You should not use horn continuously, unnecessarily. By doing all these activity, you can reduce the sound pollution. The next one is echo. Echo means resound. If you are going in a newly constructed house without having any material, you will observe, if you are talking the resound also, you will observe yourself. Why we are observing that resound? That resound is called echo. When we are producing a sound, it reaches any body and it come back again and it reaches your ear. Then only you can listen the echo. It will take 1/16 second. If you can listen the resound more, less than 1/16 second, you cannot observe the resound. If it is more than 1/16 second, then you can observe the resound. Okay, the materials which are kept in the room, they absorb the sound, so you cannot listen the resound in a normal hall. But a newly constructed one, if there is no material in the room, then you can understand the resound. In the same manner, very near to the hills also you can observe the resound. If you produce sound, after some time you can hear the resound also. Okay, you can calculate the distance from the object, where the object is located also, by using the formula 2D is equal to V into T. Means the person is lying here and the obstacle of the sound is lying here. It has to travel here. The traveled distance by the sound is D. And again it come back and reach you. Then only you can listen the resound, the echo. So again it has to travel the D. So the total distance traveled by the sound wave is 2D. You know that distance is equal to velocity. Speed is equal to distance by time. Here the sound traveled distance is 2D. So speed is equal to 2D by T. Then 2D is equal to speed into T or velocity into time. This gives the double distance. So D is equal to V into T by 2. By using this formula, you can calculate the distance from you and the obstacle of the sound. Next one, reverberation. What is meant by reverberation means the multiple reflections of the sound is called reverberation. The multiple reflection of the sound is called reverberation. If you observe any hall, seminar hall or movie, cinema hall, if you observe the roofs are covered with coir. Their roofs are covered with coir. Why? Because to absorb the sound, the producer sound, multiple reflection takes place and it disturbs the clarity of the sound. So to get clear sound, the roof of the halls, seminar halls or meeting halls or cinema halls, roofs and walls completely covered with coir, then only we can listen the pleasant sound. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share it.